Finally, Candace, both sides have rested their cases. Once again, they should be deliberating on Monday. Let's talk about the defense and what they did and putting Travis McMichael on the stand. What do you think of what the prosecution did to him yesterday? Basically, he admitted that Ahmaud Arbery had no weapons, posed really no threat, that he was running away, and he still killed him, in a sense. What did that prove, in your opinion, yesterday?
Well, Mike, it proved that he was guilty and guilty of all the charges that are against him. And in this situation, if this was the best that they had, it seemed like this was a young man who studied and crammed for a test and tried to get it all in and forgot some of the facts. This is why he looked confused. This is why he mixed up the facts. This is why he contradicted his own written testimony and what was spoken on the cameras that we saw. So there was just a lot of confusing information that led me, and I'm sure the jurors, to believe that he was lying. And of course, the things that he changed in terms of what we heard during his testimony and during cross-examination, what he changed, of course, kind of leaned to the fact that he was more innocent than he appeared to be. There were only facts that changed that benefited him. Not a good look for the defense. And if this was the best they had, I don't think that they have a lot of faith in what the jury is going to be doing at this point.
Yeah, first of all, a lot of people were surprised, that Travis McMichael took the stand, but also we was expecting nearly 30 witnesses from the defense, and they only put up 7. Why do you think that was so?
I think after a while, they realized that, well, especially with William Roddy Bryan, who's continued to try to separate himself from this case, I don't think that he felt he needed to prove anything, that if he was able to be looked at as separated from the other 2 defendants, that he already had a good game going, and that they looked more guilty than he did. And then I think that the defense just finally decided, listen, we've already kind of made our case. Why go at it? And in addition to that, I'm not sure if we're winning, so let's leave well enough alone. Why do we need all of these people? Because listen, what we heard about yesterday in terms of their witnesses were people from Facebook and things of that nature figuring out what was going on in the neighborhood. Wasn't very strong, didn't end up very strong. I think that they decided that well enough had been done, and let's just leave it alone and see how we turn out.
All right, Candace, here we are. Finally finished. Deliberations about to begin. Let's go over once again these charges that these 3 defendants will be facing.
Listen, there are 9 counts altogether, and Georgia is kind of this equal party state, saying that if you are involved in this type of crime, then all of you will be attached to all of these particular counts. Let's take a look at what we have going on. First of all, malice murder, and understand that this is the hard part for juries, as we have seen in the Rittenhouse case, right? Understanding what exactly the charge is. Malice murder, this is a charge that deals with recklessness, and this says that something happened illegally at the point when they chased him. So that's the malice here, that it was illegal when they chased him. It doesn't have to be an intent. It could be implied. And so that's why I think that this is going to be guilty on this one, because they did not know why they were chasing Ahmaud Arbery. Secondly, we have the felony murder. This is someone who commits a crime, kills somebody in the commission of that crime, of that felony, and the person dies as a result once again. So the person, though, must be convicted of that underlying felony. Here, the underlying felony is the false imprisonment. And this is where we hear, and what makes sense is important that we hear the McMichael saying, we cornered him like a rat. And we didn't make sure that, we made sure that he didn't go anywhere. That's where we get this false imprisonment charge. Even Travis on the stand said, I could have gotten back in the car, but I didn't, right? So I think that is also going to be a guilty. They used the car, both of them, and they had the option of leaving him alone, and they didn't. Then we have this aggravated assault. The aggravated assault happens when someone uses something offensively to attack somebody else. And in this situation, we have the gun, we have the car. That is an aggravated assault. And then finally, there's the criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. And so, as I said, I think that the false imprisonment is going to be a yes. So the attempt is definitely going to be a yes. And the assault, you had the rifles, you had the car, that is definitely going to be a yes. So I see a guilty on all of the charges. I'm not sure how they could think otherwise. In fact, I think that Travis, by taking the stand, secured the deal, that they would get guilty on all of these charges because they're all going to be treated one and the same.
Well, Sharon did say that Travis and the McMichaels will probably want the smartest, or the sharpest knives in the drawer, so to speak. So we'll see if they did themselves in, or Travis McMichael did themselves in.
Yes, yes. And they tried. He had glasses on. They tried to, he lost about 30 pounds. He looked a little in those pictures and during the video, but it just didn't come off well. And again, I think that was just the nail. They hit the nail on the head, was sealing their fate of guilty.
Yeah.